DICE has now said more gunplay changes are coming in Season 3, Phase 3, and for sniping specifically, I think changes are needed, but the bigger question here is, what are these changes actually going to be, and what will they mean for the way sniping plays? The first obvious answer here is the sweet spot nerf. They've already said they're decreasing sweet spot zones for bolt-action sniper rifles, and it makes sense because right now the sweet spot system makes sniping feel a little too forgiving, and ultimately it rewards less precision. But the main thing I want to focus on here is that DICE talked about a ballistic pass. They've discussed changes involving muzzle velocity, drag, and bullet drop behavior. Assuming these changes don't just apply to sniper rifles, I think this is a good direction for Battlefield 6 overall. One of my biggest issues with the gunplay at the moment is that a lot of weapons feel too easy to use at range in terms of the muzzle velocity and low drag. This effectively reduces how much players have to lead targets, manage distance, and account for movement, which also naturally lowers the skill gap that's in the game. So if DICE is moving towards a slower projectile kind of game with more meaningful drag and more noticeable bullet drop, that should make gunfights require more actual gun skill, not just aim, but able to read range, understand movement, and knowing what weapon you're using and what it can realistically do. What I'm hoping though is that DICE uses this pass to start cleaning up some of the more random feeling parts of the gunplay. Right now, random recoil makes it difficult to consistently tap or burst fire with intent, and the constant weapon sway means that your reticle is always moving, which makes precision feel less controlled than it should. If the ultimate goal here is to increase the skill gap, then the gunplay should become harder, but also more consistent. Good recoil control, good pacing, good aim should be rewarded more reliably. For sniping, this is obviously going to make significant impacts. Sniper rifles should be powerful, but they should also reward good aim and positioning. But right now they feel nearly too close to hit scan in most of the engagement ranges that the maps push you towards. So these changes will make getting one-shot kills a bit more difficult, and hitting shots, especially on moving targets or long-range targets, more difficult as well, but I think this is a healthier direction for the game overall. The main issue I foresee here is still going to be coming down to the Mini Scout. Even with the sweet spot nerfs and ballistic changes, if the Mini Scout is still on par with the other sniper rifles in terms of muzzle velocity, I don't see a purpose in using those other sniper rifles over the Mini Scout, because ultimately it's the most flexible sniper rifle in the game. With its strong handling, good rate of fire, and large magazine, it basically performs extremely well inside of the ranges that most fights happen anyway. In a recent video, I also discussed some of the issues with sniper rifle identity, and that's a direction I'd like to focus on a little bit moving forward. I'm hoping that they give us more information coming up soon so we can discuss it more, because the sniper rifle identity in the game right now is just tied too much to the sweet spot zones. So to me, this feels like DICE's first real pass at shifting the gunplay towards a higher skill gap, and overall I think this is the right direction. The goal should not be making sniping or gunplay in general feel worse though. The goal should be to make the game ask more from the player while still making the results feel consistent. For sniping, this means narrower sweet spots, more meaningful ballistics, and more reward for actually reading distance, movement, and timing. But as for the rest of the gunplay, this also means tap firing and burst firing, along with recoil and precision, overall feeling more intentional and consistent, instead of being held back by random recoil and constant weapon sway. If DICE keeps pushing the gunplay in a more skill-based direction, I think BF6 will be better for it, but they still need to make sure that each sniper rifle has a real identity instead of the Mini Scout continuing to be the obvious choice in most situations. But what do you think? Will the sweet spot and ballistic changes fix sniping in the game, or will it just make things more frustrating? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'll catch you on the next one. RAMTEID out.